Hi everyone, my name is Greg Gadowski. I'm the Information Management Coordinator for Region 1. I also serve as the Section Chair for the Rochester IEEE section. Today's training session is on how to set up mail notifications via Vtools so that you can notify your members of meetings that you've corrected. This video will take about 15 minutes, but by the end of it, hopefully you will see some of the features of Vtools, the email notification system that I like to use that make meeting notifications look nicer. And so let's go ahead and get started. You'll notice that I have two windows open on my screen. On the left, I have the Vtools e-notice web page, and on the right, the Vtools meeting scheduling web page, again shown on the right. And so the first thing that I'm going to point out is that you always need to log into Vtools. You should hopefully by now have privileges to do that, but I'm going to go ahead and sign in. And as most of my friends know, I can never remember my passwords either. Once you're signed in, you'll notice that your name will appear next to the welcome sign. If you haven't managed to log in to Vtools here, please do that before moving forward with this, because it really does help. Now, the first thing we'll do is find a meeting. Hopefully, you have already seen the training video on how to create meeting notices, but I'm going to go ahead and look for an upcoming meeting in my section, and that'll come up in a second. And you'll see we have an upcoming meeting on the 19th called the Rochester's Joint Chapters meeting. I'm just going to go ahead and click on that, and now you'll see the meeting. So really, this is where you want to start with when you're sending out mail notifications, because you can very easily cut and paste between the two windows, and it helps to be able to do that. Okay, so now I'm going to go to the e-notice box on the left, and I'm going to go ahead and you'll notice that when I signed in over on the right, it also logged me in here into the e-notice window. And so you can similarly do a search for things that you've done in your section to look for meeting notifications that have already been created. And we're going to just start with creating a brand new one. So go ahead and click this button here called Create eNotice, and that will bring up the window. Again, like the previous tutorial, things that are highlighted in red are required fields, and you're going to have to check those. So we're going to start by doing that. And I'm also going to try to keep this as an express e-notice, which means that I can send it immediately when I've completed the task of creating the email. So the first thing I need is a subject line. And I'm going to copy and paste the title of the meeting into the box. And since this meeting is tomorrow, I'm going to just put hurry, register today for the meeting for the joint chapter meeting tomorrow. You'll have to put something in for this besides the default value. And the next thing is who do you want to send this email to? Now, since I have access to the region, I'll have multiple boxes that I can check here, but most of you will only have the section that you're in as an option. And since this meeting is going to the Rochester section, I will go ahead and check that box. And the next thing that you can do is you can say, when do I want to send this by? And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to say I want to send it by today. Okay, so I want this to go out very quick. There are still some other boxes that you can choose, but these will impact whether you can send this out as an express email or not. And so using the defaults is usually the best way to go, but you should know that you can tailor this to student members. Um, and in fact, I'm going to try and go ahead and do that. I'm going to target, in this case, just the student members of the society. If you include the society affiliates, you probably won't be able to send this as a express notification. So, okay, so I'm going to leave that as is. I'm going to put my email address as the reply to, so that if students have questions about this meeting, they can come to me. You can also check whether it includes active members, those which are inactive, those which are in arrears. You can target those independently. Again, I'm going to leave it as the default. For express emails, you cannot schedule a reminder, but for regular email notices, those which take 5 business days to send out, you could put in a reminder here as well. We're gonna not include an attachment, and that's important because if it's an express email, you can't have an attachment. And an alternative to that is to talk to your webmaster about putting the attachment on your section's web pages and then adding a link in your email. And that's one way of circumventing that problem very quickly. So if your webmaster can put the attachment on your web pages, go ahead and do that and add the link, because it will allow this to go up much quicker. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and add some content here for the meeting. I'm going to go ahead and again add the title. I'll probably add some text here as well. And I'll tell them to match the style, but I'm also going to make this a little bit bigger. I'm going to go ahead and change the color. I didn't want that one to happen, so I will go back and select this window. So now you'll see it's a blue color, it's slightly larger. You can also make it bold. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now the thing that I like to put at the top is a picture, and this tends to be a bit of a tricky thing to do, but I'm going to go ahead and show you how I do that to make this look really good. The picture is insert an image. Now when you click on this box, watch what happens very carefully, because it's, you think, okay, source, source is on my computer. No, it's not. The source of all the pictures that go through the email notification are pictures which actually already exist on the web. So, in fact, if you have the picture stored in your meeting notification like I do on the right, I'll show you how you can go about getting that. All right, so for example, let's say I want to include this header as part of the email. If I say open the picture in a new tab, you'll see now I just have the picture that was part of that meeting notification, and you'll see there's now an address up here. So I'm going to go ahead and copy the web address, and for the source, I'm going to paste the web address for that picture. Now watch what happens. There's the picture of the header for our section now in the meeting. That's what you'd like to have. It can be a little hard to edit the pictures, so if you don't like it, go ahead and re-edit it, and you can change the dimensions. So you can see now that's 950 by 181, fairly large picture. You might want it to be 600, and it will change the proportions in the way that you want, as long as you keep this box checked. So go ahead. So now you can see that the picture is a little bit smaller. I think that's probably a little bit better for an email, so I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to go ahead and close that tab so that I'm now back to the meeting notification. And I'm going to copy the description of the meeting. And I'm going to try that one more time. There's the description. I'm gonna make that just a tad bigger. And the last thing I'm going to really add is the registration fees. I'm going to copy and paste that. Now you'll notice that the formatting may or may not be the way you want it to look. So we're going to format this just a little bit differently. And now the one thing that I also see is I'd like this to be a link. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that, and then I'm going to hit this icon right here, and that allows you to enter in a link. And I'm going to just repaste the link in at the top. Now the text, you can see, can be anything, but now I have an active link. So when the person reads the email, they can decide to register, they can click on the link will take them to the meeting notice on the right. It will take them to that web page where they can register for the meeting. And so, that is really all that's entailed. Now, I sometimes will add the keynote speaker. And so I'm going to say, don't miss our fantastic keynote speaker. Again, not very difficult. And I'm going to just copy the abstract, the name, and the title, and paste it right there. And again, I'm going to just format this a little differently. And again, I can add a lot of things, but I'm going to try and keep this email short. I want them to go to the web page. I want them to register at the web page. So I'm really going to try and keep the email somewhat short. And so here we go. I may add the picture, so we'll go through that one more time. So now here is the picture, and I'm going to go ahead and click this button again. I'm going to insert picture, but remember, I'm going to add the web page address, not something for my computer, and I'm going to paste and match it in there. And again, you can sort of see that it's a fairly large picture. It's 500 by 500, fairly large. So I'm going to just go ahead and I'm going to make that, 150. Make it a fairly small picture. And you'll see there it is. Now, unfortunately, I have not found a way to kind of make the text wrap around the figure very easily. I mean, it does work, but not perfectly, as you can see. So I'm not even going to bother to do that. And so at this point, the only thing that would be left for me to do is to type in a brief message about why I want them to come to the meeting. And that's it. It's ready to go. And so here we're going to do one more thing, and I'm just going to type a little message to the students. Please register today. There are only a few posters being presented by students at the meeting. Don't miss your chance to win $100. And so that's it. All now that I need to do is hit this send button and we are good to go. And so this is a nice email to the students, contains a few little pictures, some details about the meeting, a link to where they want to go. Maybe I should make that a little bit bigger so they don't miss it. Believe it or not, it's very easy to miss some of these things. and that's it. We're going to hit send, and we are on our way. So again, this is going to send it immediately. You'll notice it says right here, the e-notice is eligible for express delivery. As soon as I click this button, this email is going to go out. It's going to ask me for confirmation, and then it's going to go out. And so there you go. So here's the confirmation button. It wants me to confirm it. It's showing me what the email is going to look like. It's telling me who it's going to go to. I'm sending it to those students that I want to send posters in for the meeting. But we are good. Confirm, and it is good to go. And there you go. It's been sent. And you can sort of see here now at the top of the queue, I have an express email that's going out. It's going to go out this morning to the students, and you are good to go. This is essentially how you would go about setting up notices for your meetings. And hopefully you found this tutorial to be useful in creating express email notices for your meetings through IEEE. I hope you found the tutorial helpful. If you have any further questions, don't hesitate to contact me at the email on the window just immediately following this presentation. Take care for now, and we'll see you in the next tutorial.